The beginning of, or the last quarter of the year is usually the beginning of the financial year, so to speak, because of the budget hearing.
Sure.
We're likely to have by mid-month next month the budget to be read out to the nation through on the floor of Parliament, so to speak, by the Finance Minister. At the top of issues or concerns for many people is the rising debt per GDP ratio of our country. And it's a huge issue because we're going into an election year and the expenditure levels are likely to rocket high.
I'm not an economist, but in the normal scheme of things running, you ought to be looking at what you have, your income, and then your expenditure. So, as a nation, if we are spending more than what then we ought to be very careful. And I've heard the president saying that, look, for once, he's going to make sure that things are not done within the election year. So that, but unfortunately, the president has said it before 2012, that, look, we will not exceed our budget because we are going into elections and we will not do anything. But unfortunately, we had a terrible overrun of budgets. So for me, I don't know whether I can even trust what the finance minister will come and say, because there had been no, as it were, demonstration of our intention or our resolve to make sure that we put a cap on the debt and the borrowing keeps on. I mean, I'm told that they were giving a parliament approved $1.5 billion. They got $1 billion to come and pay debts. So they are going back for the excess of the five. Seriously, I cannot see anything different from what has been happening.
Budget. It's an issue that tends to confront us as far as our expenditure is concerned. Are you worried that perhaps we may go overboard with our expenditure, looking at what happened in 2012?
Yeah, you know, situation changes. We can't have the same situation as it used to be in 2012. Well, we are living in an environment of different circumstances. So, as the president or the chief executive of the land proclaimed, when he went to India, even he went to the extent of saying that he's going to turn a blind eye to any pressure that will shoot our budget off target. This morning too, I was just viewing on your set in connection with how we'll be able to control expenditure, bring inflation down, and saying that coming into being of IMF program, we are going to do it for 3 years. And in view of that, you cannot do things according to your own prescription without the prescription of those people monitoring your economic activities. So let's give the president the benefit of the doubt and trust and have faith that all what he has said, we as Ghanaians collectively will support that proclamation, so that in the end that proclamation will come to be for our good. You know, the Bible says good and evil are in your tongue. You understand? So we should not start professing things that will be in variance with what he has said. Let us believe it, and with collective responsibility, with faith and tenacity and determination, and with opinion expressed vehemently in connection with whatever he has put down, because he has given us the thematic areas. So if he's going off target, we must draw him onto the line. Master, you told us that this is the way we are going. Why this? And I think it will be better for us, because Ghana is not built by one person. We have to collectively do it. So I believe that whatever he has said, and with the parliament approval and the parliamentarians themselves will do their oversight responsibility well, I think the sky will be our limit.
But my brother, you know, I as much as I know that in Parliament it's been towing the line of what
it's almost like a rubber stamp.
Yes,
activity.
your party says, and even you as an individual, if you dare want to go off president, you know what that you the pressure that will be brought to bear on you. So it's not like anybody is predicting doom for the why. We are all in a nation and we expect that. But the point is that those are leaders who have to demonstrate that this time around, look, we do not intend doing things the old ways. Then we can all follow, as it were.
Yeah, you see, can I come in? My brother, I'm not condemning what you said, but I want to give you a critical example. We must think as Ghanaians.
Sure.
And Ghanaians must now know that this country belongs to we collective Ghanaians.
Well, patriotism alone doesn't.
That is it.
Doesn't work it.
Yes.
Right?
With deeds. With deeds. Look, yesterday I was reflecting on Yu Kuan Yu's book, what he wrote about Ghana. And I was doing another linkage with the 24th February shooting.
The Christianburg shooting.
Very good.
The veterans who had gone to the World War and
very good.
Raising concern.
Very good.
It's 28th February.
28th February. Very good. Thank you for collection. Those people saw themselves as an icon to defend the truth. You see, Ghanaians don't want to defend the truth because when you make noise and I call you and I put small for you, you just forget it. But let me tell you, as you have neglected your responsibility, you will go back and meet it in a big manner which will cost your future.
True.
I'm telling you.
What I'm saying
Let me finish. You see, we must, as Ghanaians, people must be able to rise above the situation and say no.
We understand what you're saying. All you're saying is supposed to be what is ideal. But that's not what really happens.
But idealness is in the eye of the one seeing it. Look, if listen, ideal situation goes for a price paying.
And could you think this can happen at Parliament?
Let him finish. If it is yesterday, today is coming that people will not succumb to that impunity. I'm telling you. Because now, look, what is confronting the nation is not an individual issue.
No, I perfectly agree with you.
But if everybody rise up to do his best, that he think can cause this nation to move forward, I think people will join.
Well, I don't know whether his comments are self-indicting, because what happens is we've had members of Parliament come to, Parliament in general, come to raise concerns about the expenditure patterns of government, because government comes in the budget to spend this way.
Right.
But sometimes even the finances that are supposed to go to certain sections don't go through. We're talking about, for example, some of the subventions and the statutory payments don't go through. But in the budget, they are adequately outlined. Yeah. This is where we're supposed to collect from, and this is where we're supposed to dump whatever it is, I mean, in that very sense. So realistically, the discipline is not going to come from anywhere until we decide that this is what we need to do. And that is what you're expressing worry about.
Let's finish. When you finish, I'll tell you something.
What I am saying is that we do not want to play the ostrich. When
it's as if they were saying this is stone, but we think that it is clay.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're worried about.
That's what my worry is. Because I've been there, he's been there, he knows.
Do you think that by the next financial year, we may come to even step negative, so to speak, at the end of the election year and start blaming ourselves?
I would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised at all. Because like me and we have been in government before. Once they bring a new loan, my brother, it will be approved by the majority. It will be approved by the majority. And I'm not saying majority in the sense that it's NDC majority. Or the majority would go ahead and approve. Knowing very well that we are 70% of our GDP, and knowing we are good, they would approve if any loan is brought by the government to the House. The minority will approve, but when they are in a majority, they would approve. That's where the worry is. So what my brother is the ideal. That is what we should all be seen to do. But unfortunately, that is not the case.
Warren, Ghana need an ideal situation.
But we're not getting an ideal situation.
We'll get it.
We're not even realistic with ourselves. If we were realistic with ourselves, some of the expenditure we'll make in some of the areas. Because then it seems that we're not prioritized.
I thank God that the president of that matter of the Republic has come out clear to say that.
Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, in India. I listened to that.
In the India-Africa Summit.
Yeah, we need people of such nature to lead this country, to say no to certain things. Let me tell you one thing. There are times you might find yourself in a level that you need to change your mentality with regards to the exigency of that time. Let me tell you. Now, unlike what is coming into being, Parliament itself is being checked. It's being checked by the public. Formally, will you get somebody to come and say that you have taken something from me? Now, I think they are going to call Professor Adai. Maybe he has a document to support it.
Or a tape.
A tape to support it. So when that thing comes, the checks and balances that we should have gotten, it's not coming. So that everybody will fall in line. I should be careful. Another situation is coming. This is the time that we need to change our mentality. And there are certain things, some amendment with the Constitution, which was supposed to come at play. It hasn't come yet. They've done some of the amendment. They form a constitutional review committee. Whatever they did, it has not come to play. If that is done effectively, I think things will change. Because most often than not, I would have wished that an MP should not be given a minister.
Sure.
I'm telling you, should not be given a minister. If they want a minister, he should be there to do his ministerial job somewhere. So that the parliament will be free and have its total independence. To be able to manage the country, because if by virtue of preparing your budget, you come with your budget to the house, and the budget is not community friendly, the interest of the nation, the people who are representing the people will tell you that, my brother, go away with it. It did happen. And upon that circumstances, they maybe tune the budget, tune the system to meet the exigency of the time. But we have reached a stage where the parliament must pledge itself. Finish. Finish.
I still think, I agree with what we do. But for now, we're talking about what is happening. Your question was about now.
What should be your expectations mid-month in November?
I expect that
because now we seem to have a lot of problems on our books as far as we're concerned. Especially our debt servicing levels has reached some astronomical.
Absolutely, especially if the interest, not even the interest alone is so huge that I seriously I am not expecting any better picture than we are seeing now. If anything at all, for me, I don't wish it, but I think that it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because now with the rains now, go and see some of the roads are completely, and naturally we will have to do something about some of these things. Some they cannot be pushed to the background. The government will need to work on them, whether you like it or not. Not as an election something, but some are critical. Is that will have to be looked at whether they like it or not. So I can see that we'll even go, beyond where we are.
We'll see how it goes. We have David from Techiman on our WhatsApp platform is bringing out this very message, and specifically says, listen to the language of the MPP. All of them are talking about chaos here, chaos there, and forth. What at all do they mean by that? And that's coming from David. This one also is coming from Richard. He says that the budget needs to be looked at adequately because the expenditure pattern of government is in the wrong direction. This could mean that by the close of 2015, we're in more difficult times as we witnessed in 2013 following 2012 expenditure. I think you're right. Good morning. And you are saying we're doing a fantastic job to Madagana, and that's from Wise from Nkoko in the Eastern region. We all know Nkoko very, very well. Well, thank you for your messages as well. But